What is going on, Lego Maniacs? It's Ty, the Lego guy here, and welcome to another episode of Ty's Talks. So we're on episode 10, which is actually, that's crazy. But anyways, you guys have some awesome questions for this week's episode, or month's episode, I should say. A couple of them I thought that were really good is like sets that the set that I'm most nostalgic for. What theme should we bring back if you could only bring back one theme? You had a number of other really good ones, and yeah, we're gonna get into them. And again, if you guys have questions for next Ty's Talks episode, just leave it in the comments, and yeah, we'll get to it then. We basically do one of these every 4 weeks. But anyways, enough talk, let's get right into it. And our first question comes to us from the Unknown Brick, and he asks, what country do you think is most into Lego besides Denmark? I thought this was a great question, and I was honestly like, I don't know, what is the answer? So I did a quick Google search. Now, the best article I could find was all the way back from 2008, but I do think it still holds some truth to it. And just pulling it up on the screen right now, it said that Germany was the #1 country that buys Lego, and then for second place, it was the United States. So I actually don't even think Denmark is in the ball game. I mean, there's a lot of different countries that like Lego, but I guess those two countries were the top two. And as you guys saw, the themes for some of them, I was like, really? That was like, obviously Bionicle, that's dating this article quite a bit. But yeah, I guess we'll see if that still holds true today, but it's Germany and the States. And that makes sense, especially if you even look at how popular Lego is in both those countries. And our next question comes to us from Havdan, and he asks, what set do you have the most of nostalgia for? So you guys are probably going to think this is a Star Wars answer, and a couple of them actually shoot out at me, like the Tusken Raider Encounter for a smaller set. I have a lot of nostalgia for that model, as well as the 2003 AT-AT. But if I'm being perfectly honest, and this is going to surprise you, the two sets that I actually have a lot of nostalgia for is the Wild West City. That's from the 90s theme. The set number is 6765. The bank, the general store, I just have a lot of nostalgia for that set. And then the other one, which is a close tie, is the Explorine Starship. That set 6982 came out in like 96 or 97, I want to say. A lot of nostalgia for that model as well. Great question. It probably surprised you guys for the answer. But yeah, those are the two sets I'm probably most nostalgic for. And our next question comes to us from Commander Cody, and he asks, if you could time travel only once, where would you go and why? So this is a really good question. There's some mystery now. Rome, I love Roman history. If I could go back to like 180, although I wouldn't want to be in the political realm because a lot of times they were getting taken out. There was a lot of killing going on, but that would be a very interesting time frame. I love Italy, and like if you look at the history and what was going on, and like it just seemed like a very adventurous time, although you had to be careful. Also, ancient Egypt came to mind. If I could go back maybe like 1000, well, maybe 1000, 2000 BCE, and see that would be really cool. And if we want to go really mysterious, probably Atlantis, because it's basically confirmed that Atlantis did exist. It went underwater, and there's a whole bunch of mystery and intrigue behind that. I'd love to find out what was going on there, because people say that they were super advanced, that they had like really advanced technology, and then it was all destroyed, and it's kind of mysterious how it happened. I think that would be really interesting to find out. I just want to be there when it all went down. Anyways, that's probably my best answer I can give you for that. Great question. And our next question comes to us from Jawa, and he asks, do you think we will get another Luke's Landspeeder in the most Esley set this year? So I'm gonna have to let you down a little bit here. I do think that we are gonna get another Luke's Landspeeder. If you look at the Cantinas, the 2004 and the 2015 both included Luke's Landspeeder. So, the Cantina is going to be a huge set. Unfortunately, we're going to be getting another one of those bad boys. What would be really funny is if they just gave us a UCS model of a large-scale Luke's Landspeeder and then a tiny Cantina. I think that would trigger a lot of people. I wouldn't be happy about it, but it would be kind of comical. Anyways, unfortunately, I think they're going to have it, Jawa. And our next question comes to us from Brick Studios, and he asks, what are your thoughts on the death of Hidden Side? Going to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of sad about that. As much as I haven't bought a lot of those sets, and I really plan on buying maybe like the school bus and maybe like the juice parlor. That's probably not the name of the set, but you guys know what I'm talking about, especially from the picture coming up. I'm sad. I really want LEGO to get more into original themes, like that, you know, they've come up with that are not movie-based, as much as I do love the movie-based themes, and I'm sad to see Hidden Side go. I hope it sticks around because I think that that could bring back other themes, like maybe an updated adventurer theme, or you know, something like that, right? Or the OG space theme, like we're gonna get more into that. But anyways, I'm sad to see it go. I hope it sticks around. And our next question comes to us from Miha. And he asked a really good one. He says, favorite Clone Squad Battalion Legion? Mine is 327th Star Corps. So great Legion. I love Commander Bly. But being perfectly honest, I gotta go with the boys in blue. I'm very happy we're getting a 501st Battle Pack, or we have got it. Captain Rex, I mean, you can't beat him. He by far is my favorite clone, and that probably is why I like the 501st so much. Although I'm not thrilled with them raiding the Jedi Temple, but I gotta go with the boys in blue. I love the 501st. That's my favorite Legion for Star Wars. There's close seconds, but definitely the 501st takes the cake. And our next question comes to us from the Master Chief himself, and he asks, do you like Ninjago? So I'm actually gonna be surprised a lot of you guys. I actually don't mind Ninjago. I like Destiny's Bounty. That's the big ship version. I like the Ninjago City docks. The Ninjago City is also fantastic. However, the problem with Ninjago is I find it's very hit and miss. Some of the sets I think are really good, others not so much. Like, I mean, just pulling up that big, basically bus, I don't like that model. I'm not a huge fan. But then another model, like, you know, Destiny's Bounty, I'm thrilled about. So it's very hit and miss for me whether I like Ninjago or not. But I am happy it's around. They have given us some good sets. I just think that they've also given us some not so good sets. But it's almost like that with every theme. Yeah, hope that answers that. And our next question comes to us from Brick Pigeon, and he asks, will you ever do a mock contest? So actually, I have been thinking about doing this. I think it'd be a great thing to do. The channel's not huge, but I think it's big enough to, you know, bring some traffic in and get some people to, you know, show us what they got. So yeah, actually, I am thinking of doing a mock contest. I'm just not sure when I'm gonna do it. And our next question comes to us from Douglas, and he asks, what licensed theme do you think should make a return? Fantastic question. I had to really think about this. Because Castle and Pirates, I'd love to return. They're great themes. However, and Pirates is kind of returned with Barracuda Bay, I think that the classic space theme should return. Now, I'm not talking city space, I'm talking like futuristic space where they go into the stars and there's aliens and, you know, other factions fighting each other. The other theme I think that they really should bring back is Wild West. It's been a long time since we've just had an authentic Wild West theme that was just made from LEGO, you know, not the Lone Ranger. Let's just go back to the 90s Wild West. I think that would be fantastic. I'd be all for it. I really can't choose between those two, but I think both those need to be made. And our next question comes to us from TEMC, and he asks, would you rather only be able to buy sets that retired or get a 20% discount on all non-retired sets, but not be able to buy any sets that have retired? So great question. Now I'm just gonna be honest, as much as a 20% discount would be fantastic. And I mean, let's just take sales out of here. Let's say you couldn't get any sales and you could get, but you would get the 20% off, right? You know, make it hypothetical instead of, you know, you going out and finding those sales. You either have to pay full price or 20% discount. I am going to go with getting the retired sets, because even if I'm paying full pot for those sets, I'd be so thrilled to buy all those older models I wasn't able to get my hands on. As much as the 20% discount would be nice, I would definitely go with getting those retired sets. I mean, there's just so many good ones. And our next question comes to us from Carbon, as well as kind of Miha. He had this question as well. And they ask, are you going to be doing a room tour anytime soon? So I am working on it, guys. I'm trying to get this table put onto the countertop, and then we will be giving you guys a room tour. It's killing me not to do it yet, but we are in the works of getting it done. I'm hoping to say it will be out in the next month. I can't promise it, but I am working on it. It's definitely something I'm thinking about doing soon. And our next question comes to us from Scott, and he asks, do you keep your boxes for completed sets or do you get rid of them? So, Scott, you asked a great question. I took this clip from over a year ago and I'm like, I'm gonna use this sometime. I keep all my boxes in containers and I fold them down. Now, I don't have my boxes from like the beginning of my Lego collection, but I probably have all the boxes from like the last 10 or 15 years, or at least most of them. So yeah, that's kind of how I store them. I do keep them. It's just a lot of times I don't have the box on hand. So, you know, when I'm doing a review or something, but yeah, I have most of my boxes, Scott, and I definitely would recommend flattening them down and putting them in containers. That's what I do. And it conserves a lot of space, but they still take a lot of space. But it at least helps out a lot. And our next question comes to us from actually Brick Studios again. He says, most regretful purchase you've ever made. It's gonna have to be the Dragon Boat Race set. I bought 2 of them in Vietnam and I paid about 110 Canadian or about 90 US for it, and I'm kicking myself because then we got the set here for 50 US. It's cool that it came from Vietnam, but that's probably the most regretful Lego purchase I've ever made. And our next question comes to us from Miha, and he asks, thought on Bad Batch series coming in the future? I am thrilled about it, Miha. I love Clone Wars. I still like Rebels quite a bit. Bad Batch, I liked all the characters. They're all very different and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. I'd be thrilled to see a Bad Batch series. Give us all the Star Wars content they can. Plus it would be in between episode 3 and 4. I'd be thrilled about it. I'm all for Bad Batch coming out. And our next question comes to us from Loki, and he asks, what is the most recent Lego Ideas set you built? And are you interested in the Home Alone house that was recently approved? Okay, so this is part of the reason I have Pirates of Barracuda Bay on the table. This is my most recent idea set. If you're looking for what may be the best idea set they've ever made, buy this bad boy. It is amazing. I absolutely love it. Maybe the best set of 2020, we'll see. Most Cecily Cantina is the other contender. And as far as the Home Alone set, yeah, I think it's cool. I like the fact they made a house. The only thing I'm concerned about is how much it's gonna cost, because that's really gonna have a bearing on whether I buy it or not. And our next question comes to us from Zarar, and he asks, Ty, were you bummed out when you heard that the UCS Imperial Shuttle was canceled to make the UCS Most Cecily Cantina? Which one did you want most? So I'm actually gonna have to say I probably want the Most Cecily Cantina most, because they've never made a UCS Most Cecily Cantina. They have made an Imperial Shuttle that's in UCS form. I never got a chance to buy it. So I was planning on buying this model and I was a little bummed out, but when I heard it was the UCS Cantina, I'm like, they've never made that. That's something new. It could be really good or it could be really bad. But it basically, to answer it, Zarar, once the set comes out, I'll know for sure if I'm bummed out or not. Because if they do a really good job on it, I'll be happy. If they don't, I'll be kicking myself that they didn't make a UCS Imperial Shuttle. And our next question comes to us from Clone Commander, and he says, do you think LEGO should remake the Battle for Geonosis 7869 and the Separatist Shuttle? If you think LEGO should remake those sets, how much do you think the sets would cost? So I think they should make it. Any Clone Wars sets are welcome. Now, as much as I don't think that canon's that interesting, I think they should. I think it would retail for about 60 US. And I definitely think that they should make an updated Separatist Shuttle, but make it bigger. I'd like a $60 model of that set, like 500 pieces. I think it would be fantastic. But you know, sizable. I want to have a, you know, a flushed out bridge, or like, you know, where you pilot the ship, and then also the back area, you know, where Nuke Gunray is or something. They could really do it up for 60 US, but I'm thinking 60 US for both those sets would be pretty fair. And our next question comes to us from CT5486, and I want to know how you knew this, but you knew it. And he asks, are you a history nerd? If so, what century are you specialized on? So I love actually all history, like, you know, all the different periods, but probably the most history I know about is the Middle Ages. Basically, I'm talking 500 AD to about 1500 AD. I know quite a bit about the Roman period, except that falls into ancient history more so. unless you're talking about the Byzantines, but probably that period of history is the most I know about. I just find it very intriguing. The fall of Rome, Rome starting, and then it gets into all those different European nations rising up. But yeah, probably the Middle Ages. Also, feudal Japan's very interesting, but I'm not going to nerd out anymore on this, but I would like to know, yeah, how you picked that up. And our next question comes to us from Captain Rex for Life, and Miha had a similar question as well. And he asked, do you play video games? If so, what do you play? I definitely play video games. I play Super Smash. I play Mario Kart. I love any of the old Zelda games. Breath of the Wild, amazing game if you guys want to play that. I also play Age of Empires. All the Battlefronts, I'm talking the old Battlefront 1 and 2s as well as the new ones. I just beat Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, that kind of gives you a pretty good understanding about the games I like. Great question. I could keep talking about this, but yeah, that basically gives you guys an idea of the type of games I'm into and yeah, what I like. Also, the original Mario. You can't go wrong with the 2D Mario. And our next question comes to us from the Unknown Brick, and he says, "What do you like better, the LA Rams or the Kansas City Chiefs?" Okay, buddy. I have a twofold answer to this. If I'm saying which is the better team, I'm gonna have to say Kansas City. They just are. Goff is not consistent enough. Kansas City is definitely a better team. However, the team I like more is definitely gonna be the Rams. I love Gurley. I love Goff is okay. He's not too bad. Cooper Kupp, big fan of him. I like all their wide receivers actually. Like I really do like their team. I just think that they need a more consistent quarterback, or Goff. Maybe he'll get better with age and he'll just be a little bit more consistent because he either plays really good or really bad. So hope that answers it. A little complicated, but yeah, one I think is better and the other one I like more. And our next question comes to us from Corey T, and he asks, "Who is your favorite Lego YouTuber?" I don't care if it's not me, LOL. So I thought that was funny. Me had a similar question. So my favorite Lego YouTuber, I don't have a favorite one. I'll answer this with who I watch a lot. Like I watch Jay quite a bit, Rich Boy Jay, M&R Productions, BFab. Those are probably the top three as far as who I watch. As far as my favorite YouTuber, like Miha was asking, I don't have a favorite one, but I really like T90 as well. He's a really funny Age of Empires commentator. I don't have the most elaborate answer for this. I mean, I watched in the past like Ray William Johnson, like equals 3, but he's been gone for years. He's not doing that anymore. But yeah, probably those 3 Lego YouTubers are who I watch the most. And I do watch a number of other ones though too. Like there's really good guys who do stop motion. I watch a lot of you guys that are, leaving comments as well. But probably I watch those 3 the most. They also post quite a bit. And yeah, T90, definitely check him out. He's really funny. But anyways, that's all I got for today. That pretty well covers all the questions. But again, if you guys have questions for next episode, leave them in the comments and I'll get to them then. I'm trying to get to as many as I can, and I love all the questions. It gets a little tricky to answer them all, but within a good amount of time frame. You don't want this episode being hours long, but I really appreciate all the questions, guys, and the support. And again, if you have any, just leave them in the comments. But yeah, that's all I got for you again today. But if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future Ties Talks episodes we do on this channel. We do them about every 4 weeks, and I really like doing them. It really makes me think about stuff I wouldn't normally think about. So yeah, I appreciate it. But anyways, that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.